Today on Gear and Review, we're going to take a look at a boutique pedal that is actually made here by a local company here in Greensboro. The name of the company is Technologies. They do modifications on distortion pedals, but we're not here today to talk about any of the Stompbox mods that they do. We're going to talk about their first distortion box of their own. It's called the Technologies TripleDrive, and it's actually a pretty cool pedal. I was thoroughly impressed with the TripleDrive pedal. It seemed like it was a very simple pedal, which was very important to me because it seems like a lot of pedals are getting even more and more complicated to use. And although it's cool having a billion features on the pedal, when you start having to have an owner's manual to be able to operate a distortion box, it's a little bit dissuades me a little bit in buying it. The layout was quite simple, which I liked. I hate to be a nitpicky, but the design was clean and neat looking, which I also really liked. It had a lot of versatility to it, which was the thing that I think attracted me to it the most. Was it had a lot of versatility, and it had a great tone to the pedal, which was another thing. And you take all of that and you put it in conjunction with there's not going to be a billion people rocking this pedal on their pedal board, which attracts me to a lot of gear. I love really good pieces of gear that sound really good, that everybody and their mother's not using, because if 50,000 people play the same amp, guitar, and stomp box, then you got 50,000 people that sound alike. This pedal, in my personal humble opinion, is pretty much like a tone machine. It's great. Its layout is pretty simple. You have your level, you have your tone, and you have your gain. Underneath your level knob, you have a EQ toggle switch that takes you from dark, normal, and bright. So that you can kind of tailor make your EQ curve to your personal preference, as well as different guitars that you're using. And you can also tweak whichever setting you pick. You can tweak it by using the tone knob here in the middle. They suggest that you use the straight 12 o'clock position the best, that it sounds the best that way. You also have a three-way toggle switch underneath the gain, which changes the overall character of the pedal. First position all the way over to this way is your overdrive. The middle position is your clean boost. And the clean boost is really unique on this pedal because it's very transparent and it has a lot of headroom. So it's really good for driving the front end of an amp, and it's also really good for mixing with other pedals, I find personally. And then all the way to the left is your higher gain setting. Now the high gain setting to me is not necessarily high gain in the sense of playing like Nevermore or anything like that, but it sounds more like it's a really natural gain. It sounds more like an overdriven tube amp to my ear. It's a very good sounding distortion, but it's not like a rip your face off gain type thing. When I initially heard the pedal, the first thing I thought was, I really like the sound of this pedal. The EQ and tone of the pedal is almost perfect for my taste. Now, mine doesn't have a whole lot more gain than the stock, just a little bit. So, I don't want you to think that there's going to be like a night and day difference between this one and if you get one without the added gain to it, because it's not. Because I wasn't looking for a heavy metal pedal, so I didn't want him to add heavy metal distortion to it. I guess, I've really talked about the pedal enough. I imagine you guys would like to actually get a listen to it, so let's try that. I'm running this into a PV Classic 50 running through the clean channel. Alright, let's take a listen. We're going to be using a pretty modest volume. so it's not really cranked. This is my clean. We're going to start with start on the dark EQ setting, I usually leave my tone knob for these demonstrations. My tone knob will be rotated fully to the left, and then I'll cycle through the different EQ toggles, and we're going to start using the overdrive. This is the dark. Now we'll go up to the normal setting. Bright setting. Now the way Tone Technologies says that they think that the pedal sounds its best is with the EQ or the tone knob set at 12 o'clock. So we're going to go back through those again, but with the tone knob set at 12. This is the dark. This is the normal. And this is the bright. Now all those were all using the overdrive channel. Now we're going to go and bypass the center position. We're going to go all the way to the high gain, and then we'll come back and we'll look at the clean boost. So right now we're going to flip the drive switch all the way to the far right now and check out the high gain section. We're back in the dark mode, this time using the tone the way I use it, which is tone knob all the way to the left. This is in the dark position. This is the center position. Wait a minute. And this is in the bright position. Now Tone Technology says, once again, that at 12 o'clock noon on the tone is pretty much like the optimum operating position for the pedal. So we're going to do it once again using their settings instead of mine. Now this is set at dark. This is normal. This is bright. See, it's very organic, very natural sounding. My favorite thing about it is, I've put it back on dark for myself. My favorite thing about it is a lot of chordal definition, or there's a lot of it doesn't get too fizzy, it doesn't get almost too distorted. It's very clean. And I know it sounds like an oxymoron what I'm about to say, but it's a very clean and clear distortion where everything, the definition of each individual note is maintained, even with the drive maxed out, and I like that.